One.
Hey everybody, I am Dana OG, and this is the OurTurf Football podcast. Joining me this week, we haven't been doing it weekly for so long. It's such a habit to say that. We're going to start weekly again soon. But joining me is Lisa Johnson, one of our writers at OurTurf, and Sonia Greenfield, who is also one of our writers. I love her hair. She has quarantine hair, and we don't care. We don't care. We don't care. I love it so much. All right. Well, tonight, you guys, we're going to hit on a bunch of different topics. We're going to talk about some social justice issues that obviously have been so prevalent over the last couple of weeks. And then we are going to discuss Jacksonville and why no one wants to play there. Like, it's Florida, people. There's no tax. You should stay in Florida. But they're leaving in droves. Yeah. We are also going to talk about my experience I had going to an MLS match that allowed some fans in the stands and how that could translate into the NFL. And then we're going to wrap it up with who we think the toughest division is going to be this year in the NFL. Ladies, welcome. I've missed you so much.
Yes.
Missed you too, my friend. It's been a long summer.
It's been a really long summer.
It's been a long year. Come on.
Yeah, it has. It's been a long year.
It's so true. And of course, as we know, it's also been a tumultuous summer. Let's just be honest. And there has been a lot of with the protesting and Black people still dying at the hands of the police. And I know that the three of us are in agreement. We've talked about this at length, but I do want to touch on the NFL aspect of this. For the first time, truly, in the 4 years since Kaepernick first sat or took a knee during during the anthem, it has come back up to the NFL level of the protests and the social justice movement from the players. This time it feels real different. It feels really serious. And I think that the statements made by Seattle Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll the other day has resonated a lot throughout the entire league, with teams getting their players registered to vote, giving them kind of a more voice, and admitting, which Pete Carroll did, that white people just need to listen more. So Sonia, I'm going to hand this over to you because I want to be one of those white people who listens more. I just really do. And so I want to talk to you about, how does this feel to you? Does it feel different than the Kaepernick pat on the heads? Is it going to be a bigger movement? How are you feeling about this?
I'm feeling that it's different. I'm feeling that people actually are starting to realize why it's being done and really understanding. And I think that's what was lacking when Kaepernick first knelt, is that people didn't truly understand. And even now, some people aren't truly getting it. But I think that when he did it, it was a little more abstract because nothing really big had happened. You know, there wasn't a George Floyd, there wasn't a Breonna Taylor.
Out of the blue.
It was kind of out of the blue.
Not really, but kind of, right.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't in our consciousness at the time. And so, does it lend itself a little bit more then to say, well, he's disrespecting the anthem and he's disrespecting our country and stuff like that? Yeah, it does, because you don't really understand it. The people, the players, and, the communities that they come from, they get it. They understand. And so typical football fan who doesn't understand and who doesn't really see that or understand that, that's where I think the disconnect was. Now that it's in our consciousness and right there and we're watching it live, essentially, I think some people are starting to understand and see that, this is a real thing. We weren't just making it up.
Right.
And, this is stuff that happens every day in our communities. And maybe not every day, but we do see, harassment from the police and things like that a lot in our communities, I think unfairly in African-American communities. And, is there a lot more behind? It's a difficult situation and it's a lot to unpack. And it's going to take a lot of conversation and a lot of listening. And that's really where it all comes down to, is a lot of listening. And on both sides, honestly, because, while it's tough when you don't understand it and you don't see it every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure as a white person who doesn't experience that, gets the benefit of the doubt from police, gets the benefit of the doubt through their skin, it's hard to understand. It just is hard to get it, right? So
absolutely.
And so when I think if we go in with that level of understanding all the way around, I think these can help. and discussions can help. And like I said, the NFL has a huge platform, and it's the number one sports league in the nation. And so when we start to see it and we understand that, African American players, they're representing their communities. They have this platform. Owners have, they have resources. They can get away with, helping the players more and understanding in the communities that they're in. And I think that, now is a good time to start to try and listen and see what can happen.
I will say that I think Lisa and I have a slightly different perspective than maybe your average white fan, because we have African-American members of our family. We both do. And so I think that, not that I can say I understand this completely in any way, shape, or form. I think that it hits a little hard. I panic at the thought of my 14-year-old nephew getting a driver's license. I know Lisa's like that with her grandchildren. And so I think that we are in touch a little bit more. Plus, you're our dear friend, and we've listened to you talk to us. And so, and I think that helps us. And Lisa, I'm going to ask this of you. Do you think the players taking this stand and the teams taking this stand do you think it's going to reach those people who are completely disconnected from this issue? I think it can't hurt, but I don't know that it'll help. I'm a pessimistic. I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty pessimistic about it.
Yeah, it's tough because it's like you said, if I didn't have mixed grandchildren, I try to put myself in that field, how I would feel. I try to do that because it's easy as a white person to just ignore it because it doesn't affect me.
Right.
It's I don't have to worry about my children. They're all white. It affects me now because, like you said, I have a mixed. But I'm also on the other side of the spectrum, being married to a cop. So, it's, because there's been arguments, I won't lie.
Right, I'm sure.
It's fair.
There are issues that you deal with as a family, and watching the NFL take the platform, and you look at the Colin Kaepernick kneel, and you think, what was going on at that time? There really wasn't.
Not to this level.
There wasn't this level to where now we are having social media, everything. I'll go on the cop side of it, is everything's being recorded. You're a traffic cop. If you're a traffic cop, you pull a car over, you're getting recorded. It's every little word. And it's hard because, like, now that I do have, the mixed grandchildren, I try to put myself in if I didn't, and would I listen? And I have such a care. It's hard not to get choked up because I care about people. Just in general. Humanity. I mean, I was taught as a young age, love, no matter color. So I don't know. It's a hard question because I think when people have their mindset, I don't think you're going to change it. No. I just don't. And
until it affects them directly. I've read that before.
Until it affects you directly. You said, it affects me directly now. It affects me in both sides of it.
Right.
So it's heartbreaking, to be honest.
And just so, I'm on the record here as well, is that, I'm truly not anti-police. And I understand,
I don't think most people
how
are.
hard it is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I like to think, because I have plenty of people who have spouses and brothers and sisters who are officers. And, I'd like to think that they're the ones that are, there's plenty of good cops. And I'd like to think that they are the ones, too, that I know that are, really trying to speak up and trying to, advocate and understand, so I truly do feel that. And, I would never, knock anybody like that, but there is an issue, but
that's just it. There's something wrong in the system, and the system has to change.
Exactly.
It doesn't necessarily mean that everyone, we all understand that. It's not going to be very popular with some of our listeners, but that meme that says, we know not all police are bad, but you fit the description. The whole thing, the whole thing of it is that it's the system. We have to figure out a better way for the system. But, Sonia, I appreciate it. And I always appreciate your point of view because you always give it to me straight, come hell or high water. And I love that.
Sure.
I think that's very important. And I wish everyone had, a friend like you that could just give it to them straight. And I think it would be better for all people. And I think the NFL is on the right track. I think that this is a good place to start. And if nothing else, if it can change one mind, it was absolutely worth it.
So, right. Totally.
For sure. All right. So let's switch to something a little lighter. Let's take a breath. Woo! Let that go for sure. Yeah.
It's emotional.
I know you are, and I love you for it. I love it.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Lisa tries to pretend like she's big meanie. She's
I
not
was about to
big
say, she's not big meanie. She's big old softy. We all know that about
It
Lisa.
is. It's a tough form because it's not hard to care for people. It just
No,
isn't.
not at all.
And I don't understand the skin color, and I don't understand the ethics. I just don't understand it. It's how hard is it to be nice to people and be kind?
It's not.
I don't get it.
And to treat everyone the same.
Exactly. And that, in the bottom line, that's all it is. It's just a humanity thing.
Exactly.
That's it, right?
I know you can't see my shirt, but it says "Be a good human" on it. That's
right.
That's all you got to do.
That's all it is.
Human. Yeah.
Unreal.
All right. Well, let's talk about something a little lighter. Like I said, so I was lucky enough. So, as we know, not very many teams are allowing fans to come into the stands, at least for the first few games. Most teams have ruled that out. The Kansas City Chiefs saying, "Why not bring them 17,000 people in? It's a good time." But I will tell you, living here in Kansas City. Sporting Kansas City is Kansas City's Major League Soccer team, and they were also given.
Don't roll your eyes, Lisa. Stop.
Shut up, Lisa. It's so fun. So I'm a big fan. Lisa don't like it. That's okay. But the whole point of this is that they were given permission to have a 14% capacity, which for their soccer-specific stadium was 2,400 people. To come in and watch a match. And I'm, being a season ticket holder, was put into the lottery to be able to go, and I won those tickets, and we were able to go last week. I'm actually going again on Wednesday, so I'm excited. But so we went in, and I wanted to see how it worked. I wanted to see, working in the medical profession, as Sonia does also, I wanted to see, actually Lisa too. But so we wanted to see that, I wanted to see how did this make sense? Is this going to work? Well, we had staggered entry times. So you were given a time when you could come in and a gate you were allowed to come in. You were temp checked when you walked in. And then, of course, everything was touchless. So you walk through a scanner. Instead of them scanning with a wand, you walk through an actual scanner. And then your ticket was touchless. Everything has to be no cash allowed once you got inside. There's markings everywhere that what 6 feet look like. And then the spacing. This was the most brilliant thing they did. So literally, there was not another person sitting within about 10 feet of my husband and I, because they had groups of 2 on the ends, 2 rows up, a group of 4. Groups of 2, group of 4. And that's, you could only have 2 or 4 tickets. And so there was no way that anyone could get too near to you, even if you were trying to get out of the row. It would have been they couldn't walk in front of you. Because they would have to go to the other side. The other thing that was good was the bathrooms, which a lot of people were worried about. They actually had someone standing there reminding you to stand on the dots, which was real important. And then, of course, they had concessions. It was very limited concessions, but it also was touchless. They flipped the screen around. You did everything on there without touching anything. It was amazing. Yes, ma'am.
Did they have alcohol?
Yes, but no tailgating.
Okay.
So we could not be in the parking lot. And they even socially distance the cars. It had to be every other parking spot so that people could get in and out of their vehicles without getting too close to someone, which I thought was real interesting. I will tell you that 99% of people actually followed all the rules. About halfway through the match, people started taking their masks off, which got a little irritating to me. But at the same time, we were so distant from each other, it actually was probably okay, and we were outdoors. This can be done, and I was really impressed. Now, can they do it for 17,000 people at Arrowhead with really only 4 or 5 entries? I don't know. And they're allowing tailgating, which is asinine to me. But I'm excited to think that at least some people might be able to go to these games. I think it can be done. Lisa, I know that you said you already gave up your tickets for this year. You said you're just going to push it to next year.
Right.
Sonia, if they figured this out, would you go to a match? Or I'm sorry, a game, not a match.
A game, not a match. I was about to say. Soccer is a match, which again, kind of weird, but whatever.
Whatever.
I would go. I would go because I would do what I needed to do, which is fine. But again, we've seen that not everybody is going to do it. So there's that. But, I for sure would go.
Mm-hmm. I think the no tailgating thing is a big part of it, Lisa. I think because at the soccer match, there was no tailgating. So you couldn't sit out there for hours and just get completely hammered before you walked in, because then your inhibitions go away. and the alcohol sales, they shut that up, within the certain number of minutes left in the match.
Right.
So the tailgating is what worries me more than probably anything.
Yeah, and I think that, like you said, that they'll probably be very, very controlled. Sounds like it from what the Dolphins have shown us of exactly what's going to happen. Mine was more, it was hard making the decision. Mine more so of just trying to go in the direction of OurTurf on the media part of it. Do I take the fan side or do I go to the media side? And the last couple of years with our growth and our, being accepted to the Professional Football Writers Association definitely, drove us to the media side. My thing was just the mask. I just couldn't.
It's so hot down there. I don't know that I blame you.
It's gut wrenching because I've been going to the stadium for 35 years from the Orange Bowl to here, and I've never missed one game. So it's, it was a hard decision, but it was one I just thought I had to make. And, so like I said, I'm sure it'll be fine. Like listening to you and the way they've got it drawn out, I'm sure people will go, they'll have a great time. Like I said, hopefully I can get in on the media side of it with OurTurf and still, participate in some meeting and reporting. So it was hard at first, but I'm starting to kind of get used to it. I think that first game, when I get over that first game,
it's gonna be hard.
It'll be all right. But it sounds like from what the Dolphins have said and what their stadium's doing, I'm sure the Chiefs are doing the same kind of thing. Is
kinda. They don't really have a plan right now.
I think they're working on
it. They got 10 days.
But at that point, you're exposing yourself. That's your risk. I mean, that's
in the end, that's your risk.
It is. It's your risk. And if, you start getting outbreaks, then it wasn't.
It'll get shut down real quick. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think it's real smart. And they did this with the soccer games too. And I think that when they were thinking they were going to let people watch baseball, which I think has gone away now, they were going to do the same. They really have blocked off those first 15, 20 rows. So people can't get too close to the players, which is logical, obviously.
Right. Exactly.
Too close to the players. But I think they can be done, especially as it gets colder. People would be more likely to keep their mask on because it keeps your face warm, right? So, if you're an outdoor, stadium, that might be good. So we'll see. But you're right, Lisa. If they start to see outbreaks, it'll be done. That'll be
over. But then also, you just have to really, everybody already hates stadium security anyway. But you're gonna have to understand now that if we're gonna do this, then you guys got to follow the rules, and security's gonna have to be asses, right?
They're gonna have to be on top of it, right? Absolutely. And I will say that is something I didn't see out of sporting. I was a little disappointed to not see people patrolling up and down to kind of make people put those masks back on. I mean, it wasn't a huge deal, but when they asked me how I thought it went, because I was lucky enough to be asked how I thought it went, that was the one thing I said. I said, listen, if you really want this to continue, but they don't have much more of a season left. I mean, they're trying to put in a whole season. It's not going to quite work. But football's just getting started, so they're going to have to be on top of it.
Exactly. They're just going to have to be on top of it. So just be ready.
It should be interesting, to say the least.
Well, there you go. That's a good word for it. We'll see. We'll see what it's like to have that noise piped in. And
opening day, it's going to be real interesting.
It's going to be so weird.
You have many of the stadiums not doing fans at all. So
first game will have fans between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Houston Texans. It's in 10 days. And they are allowing that, I think it's 15 to 17,000, that whatever that percentage is of their.
Like 20%. It seems like 20%.
Yeah.
Let's say 20 to 25% is what I've been
it wasn't that high. Missouri wouldn't let them go that high. So it wasn't 25. They thought about that for a while. I think it's closer. It's somewhere between 17 to 20. Yeah, somewhere in there. So, but anyway, the whole point I think is that it was kind of determined, and I was told it was determined by, Ticketmaster, SeatGeek, all those. They helped them figure out how you could space people properly because they're the ones that have the seat diagrams, so that
right.
All right, so let's talk about football for just a little bit. Not that we haven't been, but let's talk some more about some football. I want to talk about.
We did soccer. Come on, we threw 5 minutes of soccer in there.
Listen, I didn't talk about the game. You want me to talk about that?
No, I'm good.
Oh, someday I'll get you there. So let me tell you this. I'm a little baffled about the Jacksonville Jaguars and why no one wants to play football in Jacksonville. I went to a game in Jacksonville a couple years ago. It's a nice stadium. It's a nice town. There's no tax. but people are bailing left, right, and they are dumping their first round picks. As we all know, Leonard Fournette was just released today. And when I was talking to a couple of people about it, they were saying, well, no one's going to give him a fifth or a second if they know they're going to cut him anyway. They get him for free. Why would you give him? You know what I mean?
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see what happened there. But I don't know what's going on in Jacksonville. I can't figure out, is it Marone? Because he seems kind of like a dud. Is it Khan? Keep, desperately trying to move that team to London. Lisa, you live in Florida. What the hell's going on in Jacksonville?
The only thing I can say is where's the tank for Trevor chant coming? Because it's similar to what the Dolphins did 2 years ago when they stripped it down. They were shipping players off left and right. Now, granted, they got draft picks for their players.
It worked.
So it's hard to believe that 25-year-old Leonard Fournette won't find a home quickly. It's hard for me to believe that they tried very hard to trade him. I'm not seeing that. I can't see. I mean, if the Dolphins could trade Kellen Barad, who failed his physical, and we got him back, now they're going to release him. But really, we could trade him, but you can't trade a first-round pick in Leonard Fournette. It just, I agree with a lot of what people are saying. It just doesn't make sense. And I think they're stripping it down. I really do. I think it's Marone. I think he's going to start over. So, but
if he has that much time, I don't know. But how give him much time.
I don't think he has that much time.
I don't know. I mean, I think the difference try to get something. I mean, at least with the Dolphins, when we rebuilt, we had 2 first-round picks. We got a boatload of seconds and thirds. You
guys picked every 5 picks. I swear
exactly.
to God, draft.
And so, I don't understand what this is. And now you're starting to hear rumors about, with the Trevor Lawrence stuff going on, will they bring Clemson's coach with them? Is there going to be a major shakeup next year?
Could be.
And
we all know next year's draft's going to be bizarre anyway.
Out. I mean,
they do.
Clearly have made that clear that they're I think Fournette's probably pretty happy right now, to be honest with you. But sometimes fresh starts are great for players. I do believe that.
Yeah.
So, and it seemed like these guys just getting burnt out down there and then moved on.
Right. I will tell you this, though. There's a couple of big names that are just sitting out there that are just sitting, though, guys. So we have Leonard Fournette, who, that was just today.
Right.
But you didn't see a mad dash of teams, trying to grab him, according to the bigwigs anyway. And you have the disaster that turned into Earl Thomas. God, I will love Earl Thomas for the rest of my life for what he did. Boom in Seattle. Holy cow. A fresh start was not good for Earl Thomas. Let me tell you that. He's just sitting out there with teams saying, hell no. Chargers, the Chargers coach today was like, no.
He got a little chippy today, didn't he not?
Oh, yeah, I did. It was kind of fun. It was kind of fun to see. But, and then, we still have Jadeveon Clowney out there who wants so much money. Teams have tried to sign him, and they're like,
so he just wants more money.
He
does. Yeah. Well, yeah, sit out a season, see how much money you get. But that's another whole conversation because that gets me real worked up. But it's interesting this year. Do you think that teams are a little more wary of some of these higher dollar players? Although I don't think Fournette or Thomas would cost much right now. Do you think it's because of we haven't had preseason games? We don't really know if people are really bad yet. If we don't know, if there needs to be replacements. It's a weird year.
It's a good point, though, in the preseason games because you see, you don't like to say it, but you see injury bugs during preseason games. So a lot of these guys that are getting, have gotten let go would probably have already found homes by now.
Right.
If honestly we had preseason games going on. You're going to get nicked up. You're going to get injuries. So you might see a lot of these guys go to first or second week of the regular season.
And I was thinking about that too. I was wondering, it's like, is it going to take a big injury week 3 to get Clowney off the couch? Is it going to take, a big injury, for someone to say, okay, we'll suck up Earl Thomas's off the field issues and to deal with him? I really thought the Chargers might be the one because of what happened with their team, but they apparently are no. But so I think I think you could be right there. Although the San Francisco 49ers, see their injury list today? Oh my God. I put in my article, my preview for the NFC West comes out tomorrow. And I put in there that they don't get injury bug bites. They get eaten.
Eaten alive.
All of it. It's the whole damn team gets wiped out. So we'll see what happens there. But I think, I don't know. If it were me and Sonia, what do you think about this? I have a feeling Fournette will be the first of those 3 to go. to get picked up again.
I think so.
Talented.
I was about to say, he's young enough, and running backs, you need them. You need running backs, and I could see him going way before Jadavion and way before Earl Thomas for sure. And again, I think Earl Thomas is just the off the field issues. God bless him. And Jadavion, okay, I'm be honest, he's still making money off that hit from the bowl game. So that's where we're going with it. Okay, that's where we're going with it.
Well, I talked about that with some other friends in football, and they were like, he only had 3 sacks last season with Seattle, and if he takes this year off, he's losing money. He needs to sign now while people still consider him, so highly of him. So hopefully, I don't know. I haven't given up. I haven't given up that he ends up back in Seattle. It would make a real smart 1-year deal. So that wouldn't surprise me, but we'll see. I don't know. All right. So as we wrap things up a little bit, I have one more topic. So in my NFC West article that comes out again tomorrow, everybody. Have I mentioned that already? It comes out tomorrow. But, and I had a hard time keeping that one down. I think that was a good 1,500 words. I'm sorry about that, readers, because
no worries.
I get a little windy when it comes to,
it flowed. So
when it comes out to this, but I talked about how I truly believe that the NFC West is probably the best division in the NFL. They have had, in the last 7 years, 4 of those 7 years, the NFC champions have been from the NFC West. There's consistent level there. Now, we always have the weird outliers, and Arizona last year's a good exception, but Arizona's going to be so much better this year. Mm-hmm. And the Rams are a little bit of a question mark, but San Francisco, if they can stay healthy, which I don't know. I feel so bad for them because their list just gets longer. And then Seattle is still Seattle. So, and then the addition of Jamal Adams to that secondary, Quentin Dunbar, Seattle's just going to be better. So I truly think the NFC West is probably the best division in football. If you guys had to pick, what would your best division be? And it doesn't mean that every team has to be great. It just is going to be competitive. You guys had to pick. What one would you pick?
I'm going the NFC South. I think that Brady-Breeze matchup's going to be really good.
You think that's going to be good?
I was wondering if it's just because Brady's there.
Teddy B does with the Panthers.
Actually, you're right.
And Matt Ryan is Matt Ryan with Julio. I mean, you can't never count Julio and Ryan out to make some noise. So I don't know. I'm looking at the NFC South interesting to see that Breeze, Brady, Teddy B, and Matt go at it. So I'm kind of looking forward to
those quarterbacks. Other than Teddy Bridgewater, they're the elder statesman of this. Hello, Tom Brady's really the elder statesman. So do you worry about – I always – like we always say here, everything is shiny on paper, right? We always say that here. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I think that there might be – although they've proven to not get injured before, so maybe that's not a concern. Mm-hmm. But I wonder –
That's mine.
All right, whatever.
I like that take.
Yeah, she agrees.
I agree.
If you had to pick another one, though.
If I had to pick another one, one that I think I might just keep my eye on just a little bit. Shout out to you, Kate. It's probably the AFC North. Why? You got Lamar. Mm-hmm. And Lamar is just Lamar. You've got Joe Burrow, who everybody is going to have their eye on. And Cincinnati had a pretty decent offseason, quiet as it's kept. So they might make some noise. Mm-hmm. The Browns, they're going to just be fun to watch. You never know what you're going to get. Exactly. Is Baker going to bring it together? Are they going to, on paper, again,
and get off the field
on paper, they should be the best team.
On paper, they should be pretty good. They should be able to make a run, but we'll see. And then, and then the Steelers. You got Big Ben coming back. Yes, he's got injury concerns and things of that nature, he's older. He's an elder statesman. He is. But, he could still have some in the tank. And they've got a pretty decent team. They've got a good defense.
It was interesting. I did see some people that were talking about Leonard Fournette might actually be really.
I kind of thought
good
that.
With the Steelers.
I kind of thought that to be a tandem with James Cooper. I think
I like Tomlin. I've always liked.
We all do.
He's one of my favorite coaches, and he always will be.
Yep. Me too. I love it. Yeah, I think that'll be a good one. I think the funny thing is every year, and not just because of Kate, we say, all right, the Browns are going to get it together. This is the year. The Browns are going to get it together.
Exactly.
This is it.
Not so much.
Last year should have been their year, and it just wasn't.
It goes to show you when you get married, you have boyfriends or girlfriends, you shouldn't get tattoos of your name. Got Baker's name tattooed on her. As soon as she told me that, I'm like, oh no.
Don't do it. Don't do it. If you learned one thing tonight, don't get others tattooed on you.
With
your
significant other or supposedly star quarterback's name.
Don't do that. Don't do it.
Super Bowl champions this year.
No, don't do it.
Such a bad idea.
Don't even.
Such a bad idea. The other one, Lisa, I thought you might pick your own division there with Miami and Buffalo. No, I'm not saying just Miami, but Buffalo being what they are. And again, as we talked last time we got together, I'm real excited about Cam Newton up there. With
I am too.
And so
I can't wait to see that.
It could be a real competitive. But you got the Jets. No,
I don't know.
We tried. I mean, you got the Jets. I don't think the Jets are gonna. I mean,
where's my taco? Where's my taco?
Right?
I forgot about that meme. That's hilarious. Yeah, I don't know. I think the Bills are going to be good. I think the Patriots are going to be good. I just don't know.
I don't know.
It's going to be fun. I'm excited. 10 days, ladies.
I'm ready for some football.
10 days. I can't believe it, you guys.
I'm even ready for piped in fan noise. Yelling at my TV football. I don't care.
There's a fan in the stand. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Lisa's like, please let me watch football.
Something.
Give us something to write about instead of talking about the same things over
and over again. Sorry, guys.
Well, I thank everybody for hanging out with us and listening in. And we are going to be doing this more often now that this season.
And putting up with my quarantine here. Sorry.
Yes. She has an appointment.
I have an appointment on the books. Hang on. Let me check and see when it is.
Wakanda forever.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Chadwick.
God love Chadwick Boss.
Did you guys see the Five Bloods? Just like 2 seconds on that. You did?
I saw everyone.
The what?
The Five Bloods, his last movie was Spike Lee.
Oh, no,
it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
I was talking to somebody about that yesterday, and I was like, that makes sense now. Why his role in the movie? Because he was a major part in it, but he was not in it a lot, and I'm like, that's why.
Yep. Well, that's good. I'm gonna go watch it. I encourage everyone else to watch too. All right, you guys, we're out of time. Right. Thank you. We'll talk to you again next time. See you later.
Bye.